AITA for blowing up at my dad after he handed my 9-year-old an iPhone box with a rock inside and said, "Only good boys get toys?" The worst part of my son Max's 9th birthday was my dad sliding a clean white iPhone box across the coffee table and saying, "Only good boys get toys." Max whispered, "Is it really an iPhone?" And everyone leaned in while he peeled back the lid. Inside was a jagged rock that looked like it came from a driveway. The room laughed like it was the funniest thing they'd seen all year. Max didn't laugh. His face went hot, his shoulders sank, and he pushed the box away without looking up. My sister Emily was cackling into a napkin. My brother-in-law snorted into his drink, and my mom did that "oh stop" chuckle. Looking back, I recognized Max's expression because it was the same one I had as a kid when my dad joked at my expense. I remember him tapping a report card and saying, "Your brother is sharp. You try." Dad lifted his mug and told me, "Lighten up, it's just a bit of fun." Emily leaned over and nudged Max's shoulder like he was in on it and said, "It's not like that's your real present." I kept wondering, was I really about to make a scene over a stupid rock? But my gut told me there wasn't a second present coming, and Max was blinking hard, refusing to cry. I stood up and said, "No, you don't get to do that to him." Dad snapped, "Watch your mouth." And I said, "You humiliated a 9-year-old for laughs. That's not toughening him up." The room went quiet in that uncomfortable way where you can hear someone's ice clink. Then I said, "I actually bought him an iPhone. It's in my car," and my mom immediately tried, "Can we not do this now?" I walked out, grabbed the real phone box, came back in, and handed it to Max. "This is from me," I told him. "You are a good boy. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Max's voice cracked when he said, "Thanks, Dad," and I almost lost it right there. Then I put an envelope on the table and told my dad, "This is updated power of attorney paperwork. You're not on it anymore." That's when I stopped being emotional and started being specific. I turned to Emily and said, "Explain the $2,200 withdrawal from Max's college fund you told the bank you had my authorization." She tried, "It was for Ellie's therapy." And I said, "You were in Bali. You posted healing my inner child from the beach." Her husband stood up and said, "Wait, you took money from Max?" I slid a folder out and added, "And Dad, you opened credit cards in Max's name when he was 5, 3 of them, all maxed, sent to your address." The next morning, Emily texted, "You went too far. Dad's furious. Mom won't stop crying." By that afternoon, the bank's fraud department confirmed an investigation, and a financial crimes detective called to take my statement. Within 48 hours, I filed a police report, froze Max's credit, and turned over the bank records and the footage of Emily signing my name. I also notified Child Protective Services because a minor's identity was being exploited. A week later, my dad's lawyer threatened to countersue for defamation, which was almost funny, given the paper trail. The case went to court in mid-June. The banker testified about the forged withdrawal. The credit accounts traced back to my dad's phone, address, and my dad's own voicemail got played. "It's just some cards. He's a kid. What's the big deal?" Emily was ordered to repay the $2,200 plus penalties. I was awarded $25,000 in damages, and the judge ordered Max's credit sealed, so this can't follow him. About 3 months after that, my mom called at 6:00 a.m. saying Dad had a heart attack and they couldn't afford the procedure. An aunt mailed me a newspaper clipping and a GoFundMe printout. Goal $40,000, raised $3,200, with Emily donating $10 and leaving a comment about me for giving. Dad called me too, weak-voiced, apologizing about the rock, and I told him Max made a school phone case that says, "Only good boys get toys." Max told me it means bad grandpas don't have grandsons anymore, and I didn't call back. Last week I saw them at a strip mall, Dad in a wheelchair, while Emily handed out Family Matters Most flyers with a big QR code. She said, "We're still family," and I pointed at the QR code and said, "Then why is this asking for money instead of apologizing?" Max sat in my passenger seat and didn't wave. He just stared past her like she was a stranger. Now it's just us, a lockdown college account, Aikido twice a week, and reading before bed, and the house is calmer than it's ever been.